Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought of doing a quick Super Bowler Smash guide once again for you guys because I've been focused on the Fireball series lately, but yeah, here we are. So the army link will be in the description as always. I'm just going to show you guys what I have on my heroes in terms of equipments and pets. And of course, you can see my clan castle, my siege machine choices, and yeah, that's about it. So let's just get into the attacks where I explain to you guys how you can take down different base styles with different tricks, and yeah, that's all you really need. It's a very versatile army, and I'll show you guys many different ways you can take down all different base styles. So let's just get into it. Alright, first base, and it's a very toxic looking anti-2 style setup. So let's just talk about the weaknesses that are there on this base first that we can try to exploit. And the first one is probably very visible. It's the eagle artillery being literally only 3 tiles away from this wall over here. And the queen in fact can shoot 3 tiles over a wall, which means we can actually grab this eagle artillery if we start our queen over here without having to break through the wall at all. So that's already a very strong start. Like getting the eagle out very early, it's just something that you can very easily just take advantage of. And it also is such a good funneling point because you're literally removing the corner of this space over here. So just one thing that you guys should probably look out for on some bases: if your queen can reach certain buildings, just remember she can shoot 3 tiles over a wall, and if she can reach some buildings in some cases, which you can use as a funneling point, might start with a queen charge. You don't really need to start with a warden walk, and the base is symmetrical in this case. So if I start her over here, it doesn't really matter for me if she goes towards the bottom or the top. It's all the same for me. And I guess in terms of the siege machine, you can notice that honestly, even if our flame flinger grabs just this much of value, it is enormous value for us. All we need to do is tank this one mortar over here. So that's already great for us because if you guys have seen most of my Super Bowler Smash tutorials, I recommend that you have a flame flinger going on in an area which is away from where your smash is. And since I've already said that my queen will be starting over here, it is expected that my smash will be entering from somewhere on the right side of the base, right? And the fact that the flame flinger will be focusing on the left side of the base over here, which is completely far away from my Super Bowler Smash, it's going to work out perfectly because the flame flinger is going to be able to independently grab its own value. The super bowlers will not be taking over any value that my flame flinger can possibly get. So overall, I think that's a good way to set it up. So I'm just going to talk about the attack as it happens over here, and you can see I'm just testing for Teslas. We have 3 barbarians in this army, and that's more than enough for us to check for those Teslas for us to test for Teslas in weird corners. And yeah, you can see I started my queen over here, and I'm doing it such that she's going towards the top. So as soon as I noticed that this was happening, you can see I'm just going to be using my king to funnel. And some of you guys who have seen my previous Super Bowler Smash videos probably also know sometimes I use my queen to funnel my Super Bowlers into the base. But over here, you'll also notice that this core is very broad, and I would always recommend trying to send your queen into the core in such cases because your bowlers and your queen have different shooting ranges, so as to say. So it's better if your bowlers as a group can target one group of buildings while your queen is able to target another group of buildings herself, and that actually causes them to easily converge through most of the base over here. And yeah, that's all you really need. You might have also noticed that we've already lost 2 of our bowlers, so we only have 1 super bowler alive over here in the core, but most of the hard job is already over. A lot of this beginning part of the core is already taken care of, which allows our queen and warden to easily push through the rest of the core over here. And yeah, you can see I don't really need my super bowlers to survive most of the core. I just need them to make it easy for my queen to continue to get value over here, and you can see it's already working out very beautifully. So yeah, king also did an excellent job funneling out this area, and the flame flinger troops with my royal champion are easily making sure that the core is thinning down as well. So perfect time for the queen ability. She will easily handle those 2 single infernos, and these last few buildings are not going to be a challenge for us, especially with that frozen arrow. We also still have our royal champion ability, so you can already tell this is going to be a 3-star for us. It seems close, I'm very aware, but you need to consider that these are some of the most difficult bases because it's just a very broad core, right? You can't really set a funnel, so as to say, on bases like these as easily, just because the core that you have to target itself is very large and your bowlers could pass anyhow. There's no guarantee of how they walk around, so it's just best to have a lot of force charging the core over here. And yeah, that's all I can recommend. Maybe one maybe one additional improvement you guys could make that I did not do is consider using your royal champion to funnel as well over here, because maybe then we could have even had a king go through with the core for us, and we could have even preserved all three of our super bowlers. So I guess just a small detail that you guys can take into consideration if you fight these broad core bases. And yeah, using your royal champion to funnel is also a very viable option, because you have your own Yeti in your army comp, you have a skeleton spell, you have your freezes, you have more than enough that you need to protect her. And don't worry, most of your damage will be tanked by a smash as they're entering into the core, and your royal champion will keep going invisible, so that will ensure that she never gets targeted for too long. So yeah, just some tips I guess I can give you guys for these difficult base styles. And yeah, that's the first attack. We'll move on to the next one. Alright, another very annoying base style, and it's once again an anti-2 style setup. But over here we're going to use our flame finger slightly differently. This is the other way of using a flame finger which I recommend in my super bowler smashes, which is starting the flame finger exactly where your warden is starting. So you can see over here, the idea is to just have my warden tank this ground X-bow, while the flame finger can go ahead and grab this value for us over here. You can already see, like, the flame finger, if it grabs like this much of the base for me, it's more than enough. It's already gotten a lot of value for me. And I guess that's just a beautiful starting point for us. You might argue, like, okay, what if I just do something like I just have a warden walk funnel out this much, I have the flame finger funnel out this much, and then I have my bowlers enter through over here. I'm going to state some reasons as to why this might be a little bit difficult to pull off. It's because you are entering from an entirely broad compartment to begin with. So look at the width of the compartment you're entering itself, and then look at the breadth of the compartment that you have to enter into as well. So all in all, you're just entering through a very broad path throughout, and you're hoping that your bowlers end up sticking together. And I will guarantee you that it's not going to happen. Your healers are not going to know which troop to stay on, and you are going to end up losing a lot of force very early. Not only that, but because you'll be forced to pop your warden ability somewhere around over here, it's more likely that this backend over here is going to be a huge problem for you. Like, you can already see it is super toxic, and we don't even know what's in the client castle. So yeah, just some things to consider, and I would argue that it is much safer to enter from this compartment, so as to say, because look at the breadth of this. It's not too much of a challenge, and honestly our warden can easily do a good job of funneling it out for us. So you can see over here what I'm doing. It's a very simple thing. You'll notice I've instead started my queen on the side over here to start the funnel, because she has the range to shoot over walls, and because she has her unicorn as well, right? I am not too concerned if she walks on over here or if she joins with the bowlers once again over here. I do not care too much about it, because that's just how flexible of an option it is to be using her on the funnel. And that's what I really like about this approach as well. So I believe in this one she will come towards the core with us, and that's perfectly fine. We're going to take full advantage of it. So now that the queen is coming to the core, maybe you guys can consider what I was recommending the last time, which is to use the royal champion to finish off the funnel over here. So you're going to see, because most of the core damage is being tanked by our smash, it is perfectly reasonable for us to use our royal champion to funnel over here. And yeah, you'll notice I used an early warden ability, but we are targeting the heaviest parts of the core over here, and we don't even have to worry about this side of the core because our flame flinger is dealing with a lot of damage over there. So it works out very well for us, and you can see our bowlers are able to survive that damage, especially with the double ice golem. Those guys are freezing up literally everything, and only just now our king ability has popped. Too late, the entire core is already gone. So we chose a very nice thin path for our bowlers to go through, and you can see our healers mostly nicely stuck to the entire group that was over there, because there was nothing else for the bowlers to really go to. The path itself was so thin, it was approximately the diameter of a rage spell, and that alone is more than enough for us. So you can see, like, the flame finger, wonderful job. It cleared literally this entire bottom compartment except for that one ground expo, and there's not really any defenses left on the base. Just the fact that we chose a thinner path of approach compared to approaching from this side over here, it makes a big difference, trust me guys. So just consider it whenever you have to fight those annoying anti-2 style bases with very broad cores. Try to find a good entry point which is not going to be too much of a challenge for your healers to keep up with your troops, because they are the only things that are going to make sure that you stay alive in those challenging very heavy cores, especially filled with poison as well. So yeah, another very interesting triple. And just another trick, you can definitely use your royal champion at the same time you use your smash as well. Think of it as sending a wave over here. So we have our super bowlers charging the core, and our royal champion is sneakily going and finishing off most of the value that the bowlers already bounce on. So it's already like half dead defenses, you could say, and the royal champion can easily take advantage of it. Even if she gets targeted for a little bit, it's perfectly fine, because your bowlers will continue to move forward and take your damage for you, and your healers will keep them healed up. So all in all, a very good synergy between your heroes that way, and of course your healers and bowlers, and it all just works out very well. Just find that correct side of the base to approach, and I'm sure it'll work for you, provided you know how to cross tank across different defenses with your heroes correctly. So yeah, two different examples of very well spread anti-2 style bases. We'll move on to some boxy style bases for you guys. Alright, a very annoying base style once again. Like, look at the double rage towers over here. We've got the warden, quad expo, and the town hall itself covered by one of them, and over here we have the eagle, 3 infernos, and the double ricochet cannon covered with the rage tower. So yeah, we have our work cut out for us on this one. It's a lot of damage on the base, and the fact that these scatter shots are so isolated are not going to make our life easier as well. So there's 3 different approaches that I recommend for you guys, usually on box bases, and we're just going to briefly go over them. One is some sort of approach from the farthest side from the town hall, and you can already see over here it is going to be difficult, because this rage tower with this clan castle pull and the double ricochet cannon, it's just going to force your warden ability very early, unless you get extremely lucky with those ice golem pops, you could say. And then you can already see, even if we manage to push through all of that, it's like this entire area over here, it's just so much of damage, right? Like I don't think it's a very smart idea to do that. And yeah, I've already outlined why you probably shouldn't do that. The next is some sort of approach from the side of the base over here, and you can already see why it is not going to be a very good idea. It's because of this void space over here, and moreover, even the breadth of the compartment. If you see the angles of entry from like maybe this side over here compared to maybe entering from this side over here, it's just a little more difficult, because your bowlers have a lot more distractions on these corners over here, you could say. So they're more likely to stick to these areas as compared to pushing forward into the base. Like it's not impossible, but I'm just saying it could take some time. So even if I place a jump spell like this, right, once again, just consider like your bowlers will stick into this corner over here, maybe this corner over here, and then there's no guarantee that they'll all stick together. Like some of them may rush into this compartment, some of them might still be stuck in this corner over here, and it could cause a terrible amount of splitting, especially when you're going to activate 2 rage towers at once and pulling this clan castle onto you. Not a recommended approach. That only leaves the third approach that I want to talk about with you to you guys, and that is the queen charge on the town hall. And I know you're wondering, but that is also still going to be pretty dangerous, because I could rage tower over here, rage tower over here. But there is one very silly trick that you can use on this, and I don't know if you guys have noticed. The rage tower radius also covers these buildings over here, like so as to pull the rage tower. So if I just use a few balloons on this builder hut, I can actually go ahead and trigger that rage tower for me very early, and it's just a lot less damage for me to deal with. So that's just for the beginning of the attack. As for the fundamentals of doing a queen charge on the town hall and then joining up with the bowlers, you can see what I'm going to do. So So yeah, beautiful use of the barbarians over here. We managed to pull 2 Teslas that were just hiding, and yeah, that's a small trick that you can use. Like, we have plenty of those small troops over here. You can already see 3 barbarians and 3 archers. So make full use of them, and definitely try to pull your Teslas out and get the maximum value from your flame flinger. So we've just done that trick where we pull the rage tower very early, and we'll just let our flame flinger go to work over here. This is another staple of the queen charge into super bowlers approach, where I usually have a flame flinger funnel out this side of me, this side for me, so that the queen can actually charge the town hall, and then we will join with the king on the left side over here as the queen decides to charge the core. So just try to notice the timing. I'm trying to make sure that not a lot of damage is on my queen at once. So as soon as the storage goes down, I'm going to join the king, so that these X-bows get tanked by him and not my queen. And it's just a lot more manageable. It saves me some spells, and it's all I need, right? And you'll see I'm just going to start sprinkling in the rest of my troops over here. 1 ice golem to begin with, and yeah, I just saw, like, okay, it's not really too much of a problem for me. The queen is able to manage, and yeah, if this ice golem freezes up the core, then it's even simpler. So not too much of a problem at all. King has done a wonderful job funneling all my bowlers into the core, and I don't know if you guys noticed it, but basically I have completely ignored the existence of this first rage tower over here. It literally did nothing, and you guys already guessed it. By the time we are deep into this core over here and dealing with the second rage tower, our warden ability and those super bowlers with the rage are going to absolutely demolish that core. Like, look at what's left. It's literally just 1 ricochet cannon, and now we're starting to freeze up. Too late. We're going to be able to easily handle the rest of that, and our flame flinger, once again, wonderful job of dealing with this scatter shot. And yeah, all that's left is for our royal champion to come in and clean up what the king left. So very, very, very clean attack over here, you can see. And doing these queen charges from the town hall side is very, very convenient, especially when the walls are closed. You can see I did a double wall break over here. Sometimes it's not as easy to do that, but I'm sure, like, you guys can easily understand when you should probably do the town hall approach. Just slowly analyze, similar to the approaches I gave you at the start of this attack, whether it is viable to do something from over here or over here on the base. If not, and if you feel like the best thing you can do is queen charge the town hall easily and then combine with your super bowlers the same way as I did in this one, go for it. It is the best approach. Nobody expects a smash from behind the base, and yeah, that's about it. You can easily smash through a lot of difficult boxes and get that triple for yourself. So we'll do one more attack for you guys, and then we'll call this video a wrap. Alright, very popular base, but we've got super bowlers this time. I believe I've shown how to do this with my fireball setup, but now we've got super bowlers, and you know what? I try to cover a lot of flexible armies that you can adapt to on a lot of different base styles, and I'm here to show you how you can take this one down with super bowlers as well. And this is kind of an anti-2 style setup, and it is a difficult base if not done correctly. So I'm just gonna slowly take it, slowly walk you guys through it, right? I believe the starting should be fairly simple because it's just a lot of trash mixed in with the actual defenses in the corners over here. So the idea is going to be fairly obvious, right? Like, we need to basically cut some corners, and then we need to push through the core. And the easiest way to do that is to use the warden walk on one side and then the flame thing on the other side. Now, as for the choice of the side of entry, we have a few angles of entry we can choose. We can choose to enter from over here, we can choose to enter from over here, or we can choose the left or the right side. Like, both of these approaches are the same in my opinion. So what do you go for over here? Should you go and attack the enemy heroes first and the clan castle first, or should you be targeting like this side first? Like, honestly, just think about it a little bit, considering everything I've told you in this one. So I'm assuming you've paused the video, and I'm just going to go forward with the answer. I would say it's easiest to cut these two corners over here, and it's also best to approach because you're going to remove the eagle early, which allows you to actually get a good vulnerability over here. Like, imagine leaving the eagle for the very end while dealing with this toxic core over here. It's just a lot of unnecessary extra damage that you have to deal with, and I'm going to show you guys one more weakness on this base that we get to exploit towards the ending of the attack. So just to begin with, notice I have just started the flame flinger. I have not started my warden walk. It is not usual that I do this, but I'm just giving my fling flinger a few more seconds to get to work, because I know it takes a little more time to cut this corner as compared to what the warden would do. So just some small timing tricks, you could say. And yeah, you'll also notice one more neat thing I did over here. One wall break right at the eagle and one more wall break closer to where the warden is. Now why would I do that? It's because I want to pull my warden and start damaging this core from this angle over here. And I would also like the bowlers to concentrate towards the center of this base so that I can get a good angle of approach towards the core itself. So just once again, very small tricks that I hope you guys can pick up, and small things like these, right? Like making sure your bowlers have that very tight path to walk through. Like now the queen is making sure this path is even tighter than it was before. And one more important detail, many people ask me how my healers switch easily to my bowlers. My warden was being tanked by this ground X-bow over here, and he is still taking damage, like he is still at half health right now. So the best thing I can offer you as advice in such situations is just freeze the X-bow. Make sure your warden is not the person taking the damage anymore. And look at this, he is going to quickly heal up, and as my bowlers are going to start taking damage, those healers will automatically transfer over, and you're going to see it extremely shortly. I guarantee it. You can already see like the bowlers are being healed up. They're no longer primarily on my warden. And yeah, this is a perfect time to pop the warden ability right in the core over here. So you'll notice these bowlers can get some good bounces on these defenses over here, and it's going to heavily weaken them up. And you might think this is still looking extremely shaky, but remember, we still have our hero abilities as well, and of course those freezes to help us out. So all in all, not too much of a problem. We still have 2 rages, and our queen with her frozen arrow is just about to go and get to work. Now comes the part where I talk about the weakness I wanted to tell you guys. After the queen removes this one multi-inferno, if I drop a skeleton spell right over here, just imagine the tanking value. All 4 enemy heroes and the monolith themselves will not be able to target my queen whatsoever. And even on the off chance that my queen gets targeted by one of them, her frozen arrow is going to ensure that she stays alive. So it's just the best possible value from your skeleton spell that I've ever seen. And there's nothing that these guys will be able to do. Like look at that, she is soloing literally every one of them without the use of a headhunter. Just a skeleton spell and her frozen arrow. That is all that she needed to get past literally the monolith and all 4 enemy heroes over there. So yeah, our Flameflinger troops easily came and swept through the left side. Royal Champion did the exact same thing from the right side, and perfectly fine. Our bowlers did exactly what they needed to do. They gutted through at 2/3 of the core, I guess, approximately. That's what you can expect from those broad cores. And our queen easily finished up the rest of the job for us. So very clean attack, I would say. And yeah, just try to find those little things which you can pick up on, like that skeleton spell, for example. That just made the entire attack just work flawlessly. So very interesting use of the spells. And of course over here, very interesting use of the double wall break to make sure the queen first shortens the score a little bit as the Flameflinger is still working on this side, and that gives us a very thin entry point into the core for our bowlers. And yeah, it's all you need really. A very nice funnel, and the fundamentals of making sure your healers can actually switch from your warden onto your bowlers. So some small tricks I hope I sprinkled in there that will help you guys in your own attacks. And yeah, that's the end of this video. So I will see you guys again very shortly with more fireball related guides as well as super bowler related guides. Yeah, that's about it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.